Welcome to Us versus Movies. I'm your host tonight, Dustin, joined by the magnificent Kevin.
Hello, I am here to watch and talk about movie.
Yes, he is. He is. And the movie we're talking about is Boss Level, a 2020/2021 somehow film, originally released in the theater, and then a little thing called the fucking pandemic that murdered everyone happened. So it only made $350,000 on its first weekend. Well, that was it. And then along came Hulu, owned by Disney, and they said, "We fucking need content. Here's $10 million. We'll buy your fucking movie from you." And that's how we ended up watching two Frank Grillo movies in a row. Ah!
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird, actually. This one he actually stars in, so that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
You know, directed by Joe Carnahan, who you might know from The Grey. That's the only thing I will ever remember him from is The Grey.
Is that the Wolf movie?
That is when Liam Neeson takes little alcohol bottles from the crashed airplane wine cart, and he's just like, "Let's go, wolves." And it also has a similar disappointing ending in which you're just like, "I don't know, what happens to that guy? Who knows?" Mel Gibson is in the movie playing basically just Mel Gibson. He's very racist and sexist. Like it's Mel Gibson.
I didn't get that vibe at all.
Did you not pick up on every cue of that? There's several cues of him being like.
I guess if you're looking for it, you can.
I was not looking for it. It was he only said like 5 things in a scene, and one of them was racist. I was like,
he asked. No, he didn't. He asked her not to bring race into it.
Anyways, he was just like, "What type of katana is that?" She was just like, "It's Chinese." He was just like, "All right, fucking don't bring race into it as I ask about your race."
Which was true because it's a katana.
It wasn't though.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He's assuming that a cool Asian sword is a katana. Most people don't know that. He's not a Soul Calibur proficient man, or he's like, "Oh, the Chinese had a great range of swords and weapons throughout history." Yeah, he's probably the average white guy watching the movie with slicey going, "Is that a katana?" And then they're like, "Yeah,
except he had a collection of swords like all over." But that's fine. That's fine, Kevin. I'll maybe give you that one. Naomi Watts. I don't know. She's Nicole Kidman's best friend. That's really all.
Where is she from?
She's Australian, technically.
Oh, down under, you say?
Yeah. No, she literally grew up as Nicole Kidman's best friend.
So that's her title?
That's her title. Naomi Watts, Nicole Kidman's best friend from childhood. It's a very long title. Like, she hates entering rooms because they say that every time. She's like, "Really? Come on, guys." From childhood. You forgot the from childhood part. Then we have Will Sasso, Mad TV for Life, and a bunch of other people. I'm really only going to focus on...
What are you talking about? Michelle Yeoh's in this.
I was about to say, I'm really only going to focus on Michelle Yeoh, okay, who does not get enough screen time, and Selena Lowe, because banging. Okay? Bang. Thank you, Kevin, cutting me off. So, Boss Level, huh? I didn't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't
$45 million if anyone's interested in that. Dustin does a sloppy intro, so I apologize.
I don't have to do the budget every time.
Yeah, people are curious. Budget versus box office. Sometimes people go, "I wonder how much this was made for." Oh, excellent. I'm working above the line on this one, guys. Thanks.
I think everyone's taking a hit on this one, so but it is what it is. So, Boss Level. Do we just explain the gimmick right from the jump, Kevin? I think we have to.
Yeah. Are people going to be super annoyed?
All right. So imagine you're
Rosebud,
like a Gen X. Yeah, it's Rosebud. Imagine you're like a Gen X director, and you learned about video games, and your best friend's Frank Grillo, and you're like, "Frank, you got to come over and play the new Street Fighter fucking 2, the one where Udon did the reanimation for it, the remix one." And he's just like, "What the fuck you talking about, nerd?" And he's just like, "Oh shit, you're not a gamer." He's like, let me put you in a time loop like Groundhog's Day until you are a gamer. And that's the whole movie, everyone.
Yeah, I thought it was more of two brothers watched Crank, and they were like, "Man, we should do like
What if you had to do Crank every day?
we should do like a Crank movie, but like
Yeah.
keep with did you ever see Crank?" Everybody's like, "Yeah, dude, get to the
Did you
point."
ever
He's
see
like,
Crank? What if like Crank and Crank 2 happened at the same time?
"But you had to keep watching." Did you ever see The Mummy? No, dude. Well, what if you
What happened to Amanda Smart's career? Did it just like tank after Crank, you think?
like,
Probably.
are you trying to do Crank 3? And he's
I
like,
I would love to do Crank 3. Oh, you mean this movie? No, this is not Crank 3. I mean, it kind of is. I got a very Cranked vibe from it, too.
yeah, you should have got it's a Groundhog's Day, Cranked vibed out. It's an action movie that's a little bit over the top. It's very GTA-ish, where just it teeters on a ridiculousness vibe, but it takes itself serious just enough to let you know how ridiculous it's going to be.
Yeah.
I will say initially I was very taken back, almost repulsed by the voiceover narration from our lead protagonist.
Yeah.
It was just, it doesn't fit there's no really great cadence or
It's very Deadpoolish, or
Yeah,
attempting to be Deadpoolish.
I
Which
didn't
is
even
like,
get
look at me, I'm so cheeky.
well at first, yes, but his voice is not very charismatic or charming. So when he's given this task of just holding the movie up with the narration, it took me about 30 minutes to get used to it. I'm not like maybe even 45. And then toward midway, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm into it. Fine. All right. Yeah.
I will give it credit though and say that it never quit that, you know?
Oh,
It
no.
took it all the way to the
Yeah.
bitter fucking end. So
Which I
I give them credit for
appreciate.
that.
They stayed with that. They just didn't go, you know what? We're just going to give up on it,
This is hard. This is boring.
which was fine. And I was very happy that that happened. But I will say, I don't think he doesn't project. He doesn't have the voice presence for it. Not saying I do, but I know there's a lot of people that's like their life and job. So,
Well, it's because he has this very kind of like jockey douchebag like tone to him.
he's very Ed
Like-
Hardy, very Von Dutchy kind of a guy talking,
Yeah.
where you're just kind of like, what are you wearing, an Affliction shirt? And I would be like, he's at home in an Affliction shirt.
Like he would like be the guy that would like pinch your nipple out of the blue and be like, I'm just fucking with you. Come on, hey, look at you. And you're just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get the hell off of me. Why are you touching me, freak? So
Well, because he's just messing with you.
he's just grilling me. Grill the grilling.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I'm just gonna drop that one off over here to the side. Move on. So yeah, that's the premise. We start off.
Because of his last name. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
you're talking about for a very long time. I was like,
really? I just thought. I mean, it was bad. I wasn't looking for like.
No, I was like, is he into paninis right now? What the fuck's he talking about? Like, I could go for a panini.
I mean, paninis. You want a fucking ham and cheese and a fucking panini? What the fuck are you talking about? Why would I be? What would that have to do with panini?
I don't know. I was like, does he think he's
First of all, panini is not a grill. You should know that. If you're
No,
gonna
you can get
panini right.
No, a panini grill maker at home. I just pictured you like burning your hand on one.
I'm just like, do you have any bread? I love the pain and the grill marks. Look at it. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I was like,
So we start off in
gorilla.
What the hell is this? Gorilla? Wow.
Dumb.
In Roy's apartment, you know, there's a guy sneaking in. He stops the cell phone from falling. He's like, ooh, don't want to wake them up. So I'm going to tiptoe over to the bed. And then I'm going to yell very loudly with my machete and try to take this man's head off poorly.
Yeah. Well, you got to get hype, man, if you're going to swing a fucking stealth weapon like the machete. I was just like, hey, man, you could have, like, I don't know.
Why don't you just shoot him? Yeah, why don't you just shoot him? Or, I don't know.
You want to make it personal and just put a blade to him?
Why are you going for a headshot with the machete? Like, go for like more of a good morning chest stab.
Like
I mean,
anything
anything.
else, just
Yeah.
anything. Like throw gasoline on him and just fuck. Like a machete. What are you like? And it's a guy in a suit. I'm
I
just like, you
was
don't look like
I
a
was
machete guy.
running. I was running to get here. I got to get here first. Okay.
Yeah, like
There's big bucks on this guy's head. We assume. I don't know. We're never given a dollar amount.
give me a cool guy with a scar over his eye that has to use a fancy like Cajun blade or
He
something.
was a very.
Give me a
he's a
Bayou Billy motherfucker just running in there.
he's a bon oui motherfucker. He's
Yeah,
like,
but
what
you
the
got like a dude in a suit with a machete. I was like, okay, weird collab. Let's go for it.
Shouty, let me throw my cards. He just throws his gambit cards, and then he's just like, "Did you just throw cards at me? Are they even
I'm
gonna
like,
explode?" He's just like, "Bon
po-
oui." Just
possibly
like,
the
okay,
worst
that's not
assassin he
Cajun.
could have said.
I mean, pretty much, but yeah, he's just a very unimposing
He's a
individual.
goof.
Like,
He's just a
yeah,
real goof.
he's
And
in a
how did he?
suit with a machete, and you're just kind of like, well, that's, I guess, not how I want to wake up, but whatever.
And how did he
I
get
think
in?
he's
He
just
didn't
a
look
scum.
stealthy at all. He was all frumpy, trying to sell me a used car.
Well,
And he's
no,
trying
but
to take out
he
the grill
stopped it.
man.
Like, he was like, "Stop, cell phone! Don't fall on the floor. That'll wake them up." Everyone knows the sound of a cell phone hitting a wood floor.
It's probably one of the most annoying sounds on the planet.
It is. I mean, it's so cringe. You're just like, "Fuck!"
Fuck, that's so broken right now.
I hope it's mine so I can get a new one. Uh,
God.
So we go through this sequence where Roy has basically memorized this guy's every movement. He's ducking the machete. He's putting his shirt on. He's tying his shoes. The narration is telling us everything we're watching, which is
Very
not great.
borderline slapstick of how he's just
Yeah.
duck, parry, dodge, move. This quote unquote assassin's attacks.
Yeah, and it gives, I will say it has this video game vibe of I've memorized every control I need to do. Like left, right, up, down, left, right,
Yeah,
up.
I know all the inputs. I know
Yeah.
this attack sequence. I can just
Exactly. Only this one involves, pouring yourself some coffee, drinking some coffee, smashing the guy in the face. He gets shot by this helicopter. And you're like, okay, this is
So it's like
dramatic.
it's kind of funny where
Yeah.
you don't really know what movie you're in for. I knew absolutely nothing about this movie before I watched it. And I was like, so no one could hear that helicopter right outside this window?
Well, it was very CG and perfectly fit in between two buildings that it realistically would have probably hit and crashed into instantly. But
Oh yeah, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I get what's going on here. And then the Gatling gun on the side just opens up and just dumps in this apartment, just shreds it.
yeah,
I hope you have renter's insurance because your neighbor's dead.
like all of them.
Honey, I'm gonna call out today. We'll just kind of have a me day. Maybe sit on the couch a little bit, wait till the boys get off. Maybe grab some brouhahas. Honey, we just got killed. So that was a gun
Honey.
shooting through the walls.
Are you puking blood?
Honey,
Should have gone in today.
oh, that's right. I live alone and I don't have a girlfriend.
He's just looking at a dead cat. He's just like, oh, why'd I name you Honey? But yeah, he gets a picture of his ex-wife, and he's like, I'm gonna go on my day. And then he jumps out a window into I guess just a truck carrying flour or something. I don't know, something
It
that
was
wouldn't
sand.
kill. Was it sand? I'm pretty sure that would fucking kill him from 3 stories up.
It
to
wouldn't
land on
kill
the
him, but it would fucking hurt. Just picture
would
you
hurt.
falling 4 stories onto the beach.
sand.
You'd be like, ow.
You're dead.
Or a cat box.
You're definitely dead. You're
But
dead
that's
and crazy.
It took him 21 times to get that sequence down.
Yeah. His timing was off, he informs us.
Because
And then
what's
he has some
happening?
fun.
Yeah, he's dying in different sequences. So he's trying to basically navigate the day. And there's different moments in the day that he keeps getting killed. So now he knows what to do next time. And that's kind of the big crux of the movie in the first 20, 30 minutes is the rules to the world, the rules to what's happening, just to kind of get this out of the way so you don't have to keep double back. And pretty much you get midway through the day and he hasn't been killed yet. And then that's where the movie starts to get the narrative going in full force. But we'll go through the first big gimmicks that he interacts with.
Yeah, well, you got to go to because it introduces all of our
for sure.
characters too.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
No, for sure.
So then he carjacks this guy, starts driving, and we meet Pam and someone else. Oh, Pam and the chauffeur. And Pam's just, shooting nonstop out the window and everything. And he's just like, I got to get past this bus. He doesn't get past the bus. Boom, we're starting over. Now he's back.
I kind of liked when he got T-boned by the bus, the way his body goes flying into the bus. That was pretty great.
Yeah, whatever stuntman did that stunt, fan-fucking-tastic.
You know what? There's a lot of great stunts in this, actually, and there's a lot of great car work. I want to say the other movie this made me think of, take Crank and then Smoking Aces, and then blend those.
Good news. He directed Smoking Aces.
So I see the Smoking Aces all over this movie. It's a little bit more Crank than Smoking Aces, but when I was watching, I was like, is this Smoking Aces? Not Smoking Aces 2, because that was kind of unwatchable. Smoking Aces 1, where it tried to be real
serious,
real cranked style, Tarantino-y. I'd lean more to like Reservoir Dog style, but more Waka Waka. That's the vibes it gives off. So, good for him. That style and look is still early 2000. It's fairly prevalent here.
It really is, and it's like, I don't know. Part of me doesn't hate that, because
I agree.
You can't just ignore every era and be like, oh, we always got to do something fresh, every new, because then Scorsese doesn't have a career. So
it's not even really that, man. It's like, I agree with you. I didn't hate this. I found myself paying attention to it. I found myself enjoying little stunts and gimmicks they did, and really once the narration, once I kind of got in over it, I didn't notice it, and then I just appreciated that it was there, and it's not bad. Like I said, I like some of the stunt work. They did a couple of things where I was like, oh, that was kind of cute. It's an action movie. It's like, everything's been done to death. So how do you tonally present your action movie, and do something kind of unique and different?
Yeah, and I will say, just even in this first kind of sequence, because it's really it's a 3-part movie, it just really is. So this first part is kind of learning the rules and learn what he's going through. Mm-hmm. And they do a good job of when he's like, hey, yeah, this took me 21 sequence. Well, we see him miss a couple times out the window before he hits the truck, and we see it real quick. They don't make us watch the whole fucking sequence over and over. And really, after you watch one sequence through, you never have to watch that sequence again.
Shouts to Kevin Hale, the editor, for
having to watch all this shit.
Being conscious of that shit.
Yeah. But so he makes it to this restaurant, and he's like, I gotta get here before this time, because then otherwise Michelle Yeoh's character takes his last seat at the bar, and you can't have that. And he orders some booze. He gets very boozy, and he meets Dave. Dave is like a non-skippable NPC character that you have to talk to. Is the best way. Is really what they're going. It's the vibe they're going for with this guy. Because he's like, anything I say, this guy gives the same answer. Does not matter what I say, he gives the same information. Is he listening to Dave, though? No, that's key here. So he drinks himself silly, and then while he's talking, he runs through all the other people. He's like, it doesn't matter what I do. These fuckers find me. And we get all these other different characters that are just it's very Tarantino-y, like Kevin said of that. It's like you have... what are some of the people? I'm trying to find the German twins, which are 2 black guys, as they say, ein, zwei, and then they shoot. You have Selena Lowe, who's Gao Yin, and every time she cuts off his head, she goes, I am Gao Yin, and I did this. Or Gao Yin did this, or whatever.
Rob Gronkowski, Gronk, he was the gunner guy in the chopper.
Yeah.
And I hate football, so and even I knew that.
I wasn't even going to talk about him, but that's fine. And then another guy and these are all his nicknames for the most part. He calls these other guys Kaboom, or this other guy Kaboom, because he's a little person who just puts bombs on him and blows his ass up.
He just puts a sticky grenade and then walks away. And
he's just
up.
you're not very nice. And then you're just like, what the fuck? So, and some other like hillbilly guy that like spikes him to the chest. And so you get to see all these other characters introduced, and they're all his deaths while this Dave guy's talking. So, and then he turns around, and there they all are. They're all right there. And he's just like, every day at the same time, no matter what I do, they find me and they kill me. So his goal is just to make it to the bar and drink as much as he can before he gets shot up again. So,
oh, you should probably mention he's ex-Delta Force, so
he's ex-Delta Force, by the way, everyone.
So he knows how to go hard in the paint when he needs to. Dude, Will Sasso's huge in this. He's got the gains, man. He looked like a fucking mountain. I was like, dude.
Oh, you haven't seen him lately?
I was like, are you like a tank now, bro?
Oh yeah, dude. No, he dropped all the weight. That's his frame.
That's what I'm
now.
saying. He's just a massive motherfucker. I was like, damn.
The voice he does is great because it doesn't sound anything like Will Sasso. He's like doing this deep, gruffly voice.
He mostly plays it straight. He does like a little comedic thing towards the end, but it's not like overbearing. Or you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, that's a very Smoking Aces thing to do right there.
Exactly. So, and this is kind of the end of sequence 1. You're just like, okay. And then we see how this all kind of got started. He goes to his ex-wife's job. And he goes down. He's like, I brought my resume. She kicks everyone out of the lab, and she starts just being very secretive of what she's doing. And he's just sitting there, trying to talk about their kid together and, what's the plans.
I got a resume. I heard your tactical force squad. They're ex-military guys that do the security here. They're hiring, babe. And Gemma's like, this is the part, Dustin, where the movie I felt needed to calm down because it was trying to be a little too smart and be cute for its own good of like, bro, check out what we're doing. I'm like, why did you do this? Because you have Gemma being extremely smart scientist being mad dumb.
He's super mad dumb. But also you have like Mel Gibson and Will Sasso as Brett. Colonel Ventor. Great fucking name, but just kind of underutilized. So, and then Brett just like staring, just watching her capable of seeing her every movement in her lab.
Yeah.
And they're just like, paging Dr. Gemma, could you knock it the fuck off? And she's just like, in a minute.
Yeah. So, okay. The Clive Ventor or whatever, he's the colonel. It's basically this like defense force lab. They just design weapons and they do all kinds of stuff. And Naomi Watts' character Gemma works there. Hence the reason Roy gets into this super secret company like as a visitor. I was like, okay, but shouldn't his access be limited? Whatever. So they get him in there. There's a million cameras over this super hyper project that she's working on, which later you find out it's like, what is it? The Osiris spool or something like that. Or
Osiris spindle.
Yeah. So she's concocting this thing, and basically, it's like Osiris, Egyptian, god of death, a god of the underworld. You're immortal, right? You're never going to die. You just keep coming back, you know? So that's like a thing that she's designing with parts of your hair, your DNA, some rat piss, some Febreze.
That Sunny D you didn't finish.
Yeah. And I was like, all right.
That questionable napkin she found in your pocket. She's like, what is this? He's like, it's gum. It's gum.
Under the jest and guise of the colonel, but she's putting the recipe of her ex-husband, baby daddy, in the thing. And they're just kind of watching it happen. And I'm like, you don't have like her computer you don't have her like blueprints, her work.
You didn't lock down her lab the minute he walked in and you saw on camera because you're watching her lab 24/7.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, maybe they know what she's doing and they're going to let her do it. They're going to use him as a guinea pig, and then if it really works.
Too, yeah.
And then later on in the movie, they're like, yeah, man, it worked. And I was like, what? What kind of bad guys are you?
They're like, well, she one-upped us, okay? She turned on the machine. We didn't even know, okay?
Listen,
we don't know how to turn it off because
I thought she was eating Dunkaroos the whole time, and I was just like, I miss Dunkaroos.
Oh, man, no, they're real good. You can get them at 7-Eleven, and they have these yogurt ones. Not as good.
And everyone just wants the frosty ones.
Everyone does. Yeah.
And I was like, fucking Mel Gibson smoking all the time. I was like, can you not see past your cigarette smoke or cigar smoke, asshole? Like, why are you guys letting her?
He's like, listen, Kevin, you ever see the movie Payback?
The remake or the original?
The one I was in. Is that which
The
one is
remake.
that? Okay, yeah. I already did this movie.
Oh,
I was already
wait,
Frank
what?
Grillo. I just didn't get any do-overs. I just wanted my $374.51, but they wouldn't give it to me. So I had to kill Lucy Liu and some other people. And that one guy you hate.
Oh. I don't know if you know what movies are, sir.
Who was in Blade? That guy? You hate that guy, right? The guy that was Blade's mentor.
I only know some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill, sir.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Classic Blade.
Dorf was just like, what'd you say? Was that just like a killer fucking lie? Put that in the remake. You won't.
Everyone loves that.
That's my favorite line in possibly all of movie cinema. Second only to Rosebud.
It's really kind of a dumb part in the movie.
It's very dumb because they're just watching it. So it's like you said, I thought that they were allowing all of this to happen to kind of maybe expose that she, was delaying the project more than she was letting on.
To even go further, Dustin, later on you find out, I'm just going to kind of get to it because don't really have to revisit this.
Yeah, for sure.
She creates pretty much the recipe for the Osiris spindle while she wears Osiris's. Ooh, all my skaters out there shouts. She takes the concoction, she puts it in their basically Insta-bake oven that creates...
It's a Keurig. It's a Keurig. It's the Osiris Keurig.
You guys literally have the technology right in front of you. You just didn't know they plump when you cook them? Are you fucking idiots?
Oh,
you know she's working on it.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was like, oh.
They're like, we've been eating Dodger dogs the whole fucking time, and they're fucking long and gross. What the fuck?
Yeah, Dodger dogs are great. Right. Then they're doing the only reason to go to a Dodger game.
I'll take the $17 hot dog. I know I can get a fucking 10-pack from, Kroger for like $5, but I'm just here for the atmosphere and the Dodger dogs.
And while all this is happening, it's like you as the viewer watching, going, so she's making the recipe right now, and then like Roy
mentions like 9 times he's bleeding.
Roy's talking, and Jim, every character in this scene, they're all talking about something different.
Yeah.
Jim is trying to
HR is here. Please get in here.
Yeah, and fucking Brett, Will Sasso, is just like, should I go down there and break them? And you're like, no, you're huge now, but not yet. I mean, you're really huge, or like fucking Frank Grillo's like 2 feet tall.
He's pretty short. So.
And I was, but then Frank's just talking about how he's like, hey, we're gonna get back together, but then we got it like
my boy Joe.
Yeah, and I was just like,
does he feel? Does he love? Does he think of me even though you haven't told him I'm his father?
Because why the real kid too? The kid's named Rio Grillo. Like no one just walks around accidentally with that last name.
He's just like, can I change my name in Hollywood, Dad? He's like, no, we Grillos are forever.
Mother, father. Yeah, child. Name me Grillo. Oh, that's not even our name. Like, where'd you get
First
that
name from? Rio
like,
Grillo,
like the Bird movie.
Yeah. Rio Grillo. What the fuck were they thinking?
It
has like this weird false rhyme to it, and it's not good.
Because I know your stupid whore mother's never been to Rio. Did you? You whore! Just name me after the bird, father.
Just name after the Bird movie. I know it's been out. They had a sequel, not as successful. And then now the real Bird's dead.
Is that some DreamWorks shit?
It's by Blue Sky, father. You know this.
Oh, you Rio twat.
It's been absorbed by Disney. He's just like, nah, no more Bird movie. That bird's dead in real life. We didn't succeed.
Till they own everything.
No, I meant didn't succeed in saving the bird. Because Brazil was just like, fucking cut it all down. We're farming soybeans. Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. You want your soy milk now? Well, the Amazon's gone.
Thanks, Jeff Benzo.
He's
Lorenzo and the Benzo.
You're welcome. That's what my kid's name is, Lorenzo. Lorenzo Benzo. He hangs out with Rio Grillo all the time.
Okay,
Your
like
best friend.
Lorenzo Benzo, that's a pretty sick name.
That is
Like,
actually way better than Rio Grillo.
he needs to have like an iced out grill and a lot of gold chains and a fur coat.
He's
It's
like, I
like
just really want my father's love.
first murder asshole, sweet look, by the way. Your drip's fucking off the charts.
He just pours one out. You're just like, what is that? I don't know. It's worth a lot of money, though. My father's a trillionaire,
Wow.
but he won't let you use the bathroom ever.
I don't blame him.
And then he pees in the bottle, and you're like, oh, come on, kid, get it together. He's like, ever. I'm like, all right, calm down.
And that's pretty much what happened in this scene with Gemma.
Yeah, and she's in a very tight, form-fitting dress, and then she hides in the lab that is full of cameras.
Her only scene is in the lab. I don't think she ever leaves the lab.
No, she does not leave the lab ever.
She's one of those stupid smart people characters, and you're like, oh boy,
but like,
more of her, perhaps?
All night, Kevin. She hides in this lab all night until she's murdered at 7:14 in the morning.
It's not like she's fucking splitting atoms in there. She's just taking Grillo hair and putting it in a fucking...
Yeah, but like, they couldn't find her. They were like, it's been a long day. We'll find her around 7 a.m. when we clock in tomorrow.
Little Joe says you work too much, Mama.
Hey. That's a spoiler.
I was like, hey, you want to stay up all night at the fucking underground video game arcades, retro stores in Atlanta? Then you let Mama work.
So yeah, after this sequence, then we pull back out, and Roy is still going through it, but now he's remembered. You know, it's only taken him like 142 deaths or whatever to go, oh yeah, I should find that gift that she gave me. And he looks in his mail, and there's a book. It's, you know, like Kevin said, Osiris and everything. And so Roy does his best to try to read this while surviving. He's just like, I can't get a break. So we see a couple more cool car crashes because he reads and drives. But eventually he just finds a turbo nitro button, and he misses his turn and ends up somewhere different.
Oh yeah, he hits the NOS on it. Like, listen, in all honesty, to slow it down from the action scenes, I thought they had some pretty unique car driving scenes in here. It's like, I mean, the only thing that is kind of bullshit, you have this like...
The empty warehouse they go to several times.
I was fine with that. It was like a Honda Odyssey.
Oh, the minivan, yeah.
Minivan keeping up with, what did he have? Was it a Challenger? Or
I think it was a Challenger.
And with
like,
NOS,
just some muscle car.
It was like and it was like awesome. And I was like, this minivan's what the fuck?
That minivan not only was keeping up, but it was like trading paint and shit.
Dude, whoever was driving those vehicles, they did a great job. So I like some of the camera work trying to capture those moments. And usually car chases are boring as piss.
Yeah, but it's just that they work because they're so short, bullet. You know?
Exactly. And they just were able to emphasize the good, cool stuff. Because that's what that's what it is. This is flashy. It's a big, flashy action movie, and I think that's why the lab scenes.
Did you see Cranked 1 and 2? It's like that.
Look, and that's why the lab scenes are so cringe, because...
Well, yeah, because they try to slow it down and do character development, but it's like you said, everyone's having a different scene.
Like, yeesh.
Yeah, no, he just rambled. He's just like, my boy, and you remember us? And she's like, you fucking left, douchebag. He was just like,
he's like kind of hitting on her. He's kind of hitting on her, applying for the job, talking about the boy, and she's just like, the spool, I prepared everything. Like, okay, Skeletor.
She's like, listen, it's every woman's dream to make a man live through the same day until he gets everything right. So I'm about to live that dream, motherfucker. And he's just like, huh? And then she's like,
not wearing a shirt for 25% of this movie for the ladies and the fellas.
Man, he is very dehydrated when he was flashing those abs. I was like, dude, get that man some water. He's about to die.
You just needed some oil.
I mean, I guess, but whatever.
What's the last time you see dehydrated abs?
Never in my life. I stay hydrated, motherfucker. That's how they get that look. You didn't know that?
I'm wearing a camel pack right now. Dude, I don't know about random dudes working out and then
No, I know it
not giving themselves water so they could
That's
look
why
shredded.
Jackman is just like he hates doing those movies because he's like, yeah, I just like don't drink water for like 4 days, and then they're like they hit the yellow action, he shoots it, and he's just like
Well,
goes
yeah,
and
because
downs a gallon.
he's retaining the water, and that's showing he looks like a fatty boom laddie because he just loves the H2O. I get it. He's trying to cut weight for the big fight.
No water, killer abs. Okay, obliques for days. Jim Lee knows what's up. He's just like, boom, I got you, Frank.
Yeah,
Drew a couple extra on.
All right,
like, you have muscles there, Frank. He's just like, thank you, Jim. He's like, how'd you get involved in this movie? He's like, I really don't do much anymore. I ran DC into the ground, so, free time. A lot of free time.
It's like, what's a DC?
He's like, look at this rogue. It's fucking killer. He's still got it, Jim. He still got it. Beautiful motherfucker. Yeah, so he sees...
that would save comics if they were like, hey, Jim, just do 90s stuff again. He's like, all right. Finally someone asked me. Like, if Marvel
the
dropped
costumes a little bit, you're like, no.
If he did an X-Men 6 issues, all straight up 90s vibe, it would just be the biggest selling books ever since the last time.
Yeah, but he would have to quit his job at DC, where they...
Yeah, I mean, the way they're running it, they don't care if it's there tomorrow.
I mean, if he gets fired, for sure, that's going to happen. But I think
he's
just
kind
do
of
it, and
ask for forgiveness, and later don't ask for permission.
Like, I'm literally the guy in charge of DC. I'm the guy that would forgive me, basically.
What, do they break your hands if you draw a Cyclops right now?
He's like, yeah, kind of. I can only draw Batman and boring-ass Superman. Have you seen my Superman? Boring. So boring. Have you seen my Batman, though? You remember those sweet fucking kicks? Got the little bat logo on it? Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, then everyone started doing it. It was stupid.
I know. It was like, okay, I don't need to see the boot every time. They're like, it's the Jim Lee boot.
Yeah, does he got his own, like, Batman got his own fucking boot drop where he was just like, listen, these are coming out. You guys got to line up in front of fucking Gordon's.
Wing ones, motherfucker. You got the Drake 5s on? Yeah, that shit's whack. You got to get the...
You got those
Jason Todd ones with the blood splatter. You know what's up?
Oh, dude. Then you get the mid-top oracles and no one wants them.
They're like, I don't like this at all. Where's the one with the wheelie in it? All right, Gabe.
Oh, that's real too on the nose.
I'd rock those.
the Oracle wheelies shoes?
Yeah. The whole Batgirl line is just not selling in general. They're like, all right, we're discontinuing all of it. We're like, all right, not surprised there. Can't keep the book afloat. Why would you keep a shoe going? Come on.
Yeah, why don't they do that? Like, if DC was smart, I would just be like, let's just do a sneaker collab. Adidas did it with Dragon Ball, and those were fucking cool.
Oh, they did. Well, they did the Converse ones, but they sucked.
No, I knew.
But Jim Lee's
listen, not Converse.
No,
I know Nike owns Converse. Yeah, but they just put the art on it. You make it.
That's all they thought of doing.
Yeah, I'm talking like the Dragon Ball ones were like Adidas inspired. Like Adidas had the silhouettes already, and they made them Dragon Ball influenced, and they were like most of them pretty cool. I thought if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're probably like, what the fuck, amazing.
Yeah, they sold the fuck out too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't see Frank Grillo wearing any in this movie.
He's just like, I only wear worn out boots.
He's wearing like lugs and shit. Yeah, he's wearing like military army boots, I thought.
No, they were Uggs. He was just like...
Not Uggs.
He was wearing Uggs. No, lugs. Sorry, lugs. Yeah, you're right.
Big
lugs.
Fucking difference.
Not by much. They're still both ugly and named poorly. He's just like, man, these lugs, they fall apart after like 20 steps outside the store. You're just like, oh, you're off my foot. Oh, well, you look like shit.
Maybe they were Tim's.
No, they were definitely not. The budget for the movie couldn't afford it. Anyway, we're back. He's gotten somewhere different. He sees his son Joe that doesn't know he's his father entering some arcade, some underground skate arcade thing in Georgia. Where this movie, Atlanta, Georgia.
What the fuck?
That's where it's filmed.
Yeah, I know, but like,
that's where the whole movie takes place. He even says it.
Yeah, I know, but you're just like, Georgia. I'm like, okay, Ray Charles.
I mean, it's just, Hollywood Junior. And he follows him in. He watches him do some sort of drug transaction. The kid's wearing a backpack that's like 5 sizes too big for him.
The kid's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, he's 2 feet tall with a
Everything's
backpack
too
that's
big
fine.
for him.
So, but he goes and he kind of just after a weird exchange with some video game nerd, he's just
Yeah,
like,
was that supposed to be somebody?
I think it was just supposed to be insulting to video game people, like just like this is what I think of your fucking vintage side scroller
But
bullshit,
yet
motherfuckers.
you're aiming your movie to that audience, and guess what? That video game nerd audience you're making fun of, they make more than movies. $1 billion video game, billion. They've eclipsed all forms of media and sales of certain properties, and you're mocking that?
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
not. I'm not saying it's a smart move at all.
are
I
you
thought it was very
marketing?
weird.
Was he supposed to be like a meme? I
I
didn't
don't
get it.
know.
I didn't get that part where they were just like he
It,
was like child. The guy was like, "I'm childless of my own choice."
yeah, it was just really weird. Like
It was a disconnected
neckbeard
Roy. I didn't really get
basement
like Roy's
dweller
out of his
type
element,
shit.
so he has to mock it. You know,
And that's what I'm saying. Because then he like learns all about video games.
just to be with his
Or
son.
his son, who's into video games.
He didn't know he was his dad.
Yeah. And so we get this scene where he's just like, "Oh man, I let my how many times is my son gone here or whatever?" And he just kind of gets his shit together where he's like, "Okay, I want to like see my son." And I can't remember, is this the part where he starts training more, or he just keeps going and seeing the sun and getting?
This is the
No, he
part
has to train first. Sorry, go ahead.
he keeps doing the sun loop because he's trying to figure out the book because back to Gemma, real smart Gemma, leaving these cryptic fucking clues. And I was
Yeah.
like, listen, Gemma, the people that are trying these smoking aces are trying to kill your husband because the colonel hired them. He went to the fucking comic book assassin phone book, picked
He's
these
like,
motherfuckers
"Give
out.
me A through Z."
He was like, give me some DC D-list bad guys, Z-list, excuse me. I'll clear my
Uh,
throat. And then
I
he
can't
chooses.
actually afford them, so I'm going to go with the independent route of the knockoff versions of those characters, okay?
Who's that British guy that liked to do Quentin Tarantino movies and then he stopped and everyone was like, why'd you marry Madonna? Get characters from his movie over here.
Richie
Sir,
Rich?
do you mean Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Was that the good one? It was probably the best one. Or the one where the guy's a boxer that no one understands. That was the other good one. That one was called Snatch. Like that smell in your mouth, same thing. And he was like, oh, I get it. Because they stole the diamonds. He's like, no, dude, you got real bad breath. He's like, we're on 2 different pages here, but just give me some wacky characters.
Pretty much. No, actually, this is the part where he figures out that he lives longer than he's lived before, and that it has to do with him being underground. So he's just like, there's got to be something here. And he goes back to the diner, and that's when he tunes into Dave talking about anti-surveillance. And he goes, Dave, if you were going to track someone, what would you do? And he's like, I'd put a transmitter on them.
Give
He's
him a
like, what?
cell phone.
Yeah. And he's just like, where would you put it? He's like, flashes him his smile. He's like, this guy gets it. It's real unbearable because you have Kim Jong just not even being
From
very
Ken
Jong-y.
John's.
Yeah,
He
it's
just
more like Kim Jong when he did that TV show about his old life about being a doctor, and you were just like, this is why you quit that because this is boring shit, dude.
real
This is
meta,
boring
bro.
shit. Yeah.
Real meta.
And so then he goes and boozes up and starts pulling teeth until he figures out where the transmitter is, so that every day he can kind of get rid of the
Could
transmitter.
you do that? Could you just start pulling your teeth out? That's pretty hard. That's
Me?
hardcore. Right?
No, but I'm not Delta. I'm not ex Delta Force.
Yeah,
Kevin.
you're not
I assume
Delta,
ex
for
Delta
sure.
Force. Let's
You're
just
like-
keep going.
You're
I
not
mean-
you're like Delta Airlines more than Delta Force.
Yeah, just like
They're real
rude,
undependable, not
and
on
we're gonna
time,
turn this plane around, motherfucker.
real disrespectful to other people's wants and needs. Just kind of
But-
unbearable to be around, smelly,
but-
uncomfortable.
When I do my little emergency thing, it's pretty funny though. I'm just like, I'm doing the Chris Farley when I do the inflatable. I'm like, whoa, little Chris Farley going on here. Oh, sorry, sir, didn't mean to bump your drink. I'll get you a new one after this. And then I just like smack a tray out of someone's hand. They're just like, what the fuck's happening? He's like, all right, let's take off, guys.
Yeah, fucking annoying, uncomfortable to be around. Yeah, you're more like Delta Airlines than Delta Force.
All right, fuck you. I mean, I could probably do it if I know I was gonna die, and then get all my teeth back the next day. But like, no, like,
dude, most people don't even
like,
brush their teeth. How the hell are you going to start pulling them out?
I don't know, but you gotta find them. How do you go to the dentist and get a tooth replaced with a transmitter and then just like forget about that the next day?
I didn't understand that either.
I'm very aware of everything going on in my mouth, and so when I feel even the littlest bit of pain, like I know where it is because my tongue.
I know I got a cavity.
Yeah, exactly. But like you have a throbbing new tooth pain in your mouth, and you're just like, I guess I'll just go to the bar.
Yeah, anytime you get any like dental work done, your mouth is a little bit in disarray, you know.
Yeah. So that was a very Gemma in the lab moment for me where I was just like, how the fuck did you forget you went to the dentist?
And that was part of the pre-Groundhog Day stuff.
Yeah.
Because and when he wakes up in the resets, he's with this blonde. And you're like, oh, where'd he get the blonde from? I thought that was the wife initially. And I was like, what do you got a picture for her, bro? She's right there. You got a type. Calm down. Save some blondes for the rest of us, dude.
He's like, no, all the blondes for Grillo.
Fuck it. I'll take my shirt off and see how many blondes I get. You take your shirt off, asshole. I'm like, don't tell me what to do.
Stop. You'd be the real bully, Frank Grillo. He's just like, I'm kind of a dick. Yeah, twists your nipple. You're like, fucking get out of me.
I just didn't get, like, did that happen before he met her at the bar or after? Because that bar scene was too long and they gave that fucking bartender too much screen time.
Well, did you catch that, though? The bartender was basically planting the seed for him to take her home intentionally so that they would...
is the whole city in on this? The whole city is in on fucking.
Have you seen Payback? And they all got the phones, and yeah, the whole city's in on it. Yeah, she's just like, you should take her home, Frank. You should take her home. He's just like, my character's name is Roy, and I'd appreciate you remember that.
The night I wake up with another saggy tit blot in my bed. I don't know if they do have saggy.
Yeah, no,
that's body shaming. That's not fair to him. I'm sorry, ladies.
They do the two thing, and then he goes to the bar, apparently all doped up on Novocaine, and doesn't process that Brett is standing over him, like ready to drill his tooth for him with his penis.
Yeah, like
he's just like, I'll get it. They're like, sir, you're just putting your penis in his mouth and making a drill.
I said I'll get it.
Just get out of here. I need 5 minutes. Sasso out. And they're just like, okay, all right, calm down, Will.
Wouldn't you just put it under his skin? That seems a lot easier.
It seems a lot easier. That's why I don't ever, whenever anyone's just like, oh my God, they gave me a fake tooth. I'm like, how did your tongue not find that instantly? But like, what's this? This is new. What is this? What's over here?
If I get something shot at, I'm going to be like, teeth. I go fucking crazy. You're going to take my whole tooth out? I mean, you got to do some great work for me not to. I mean, do they even test his bite when he bit down? Like your bite's going to be even? Oh my gosh.
He's got a weird gap. He's like, that's weird. I'm like, on that side, I usually don't have this huge crater in between my gap or my bite. Yeah. So he figures it out, and then he starts re-pulling the tooth every day and getting revenge.
Well, it's kind of funny because when he pulls it out in the bathroom, he shows it to the guy. The guy's like, yeah, that's it. And he's like, and he has a great little story when he gets real drunk about this caliber of round going through his cheek and cooking his tongue. He's like, I just taste steak. I was like, wow, and I was like, dude, you're talking about like the tongue tacos? Because the caliber of the round cooks his fucking tongue. And he's like, that's delicious. And he's like, that's my own tongue from the intense heat. It went right through and they're like, whatever, crazy. He's having a moment.
Yeah, they're just
like, having a Delta Force moment.
He's real Delta right now. Just real Delta Force right now. Retired Delta Force though.
Chuck Norris is Delta Force? Oh,
no,
I'd be sick. I'd be sick right now. Uzis for everyone.
Yeah, now that you bring up that scene, like that was such a disappointing story because there again there was no charisma to it. Like Frank Grillo's not a good storyteller. Like I was like, oh man, that was horrible. Like I know he's supposed to be drunk and everything, but it was just like, yeah, Frank, just go through the motions, I guess, because that's what this feels like. This whole scene, like it's not very funny. I wasn't like, oh, it's his tongue or anything. I was just like, God, shut up, get out of this scene already.
What I was feeling from the Grillmeister,
Mm-hmm.
the dude that plays on the John Brethall, I think that's how you say his name, Brenthal. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. The Punisher from the Netflix show.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's trying to, hone in on that style of performance. Because I think the John dude I think he's fantastic. Like
Yeah,
the
they're
range.
not in the same league at all.
Yeah, and I think like visually and totally he was going for that character, but I think John is like a massively superior actor when it comes to, range and charisma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like he was trying to knock on that door, but no.
No. Yeah, it just didn't particularly work.
Because I could picture the John dude doing that same story, but also, and also the direction, you want to give him more like kind of intimate camera shots. You know what I mean? Push in, hold it just right to kind of make that story resonate. And I don't even know if that was a story to resonate, but I just thought it stood out a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely did. So now he's pulling out teeth. He's getting revenge, and the first person that's up is Pam. And Pam's like, he's like, drop your gun. She's like, I'm not dropping my gun.
Well, she tricks him to give some setup. They're in a random warehouse. He has the tooth just sitting on this thing in the middle of this flooded warehouse, and she's just walking around. And she has like a PP7, like Hitler's or some shit.
It is Hitler's, yeah.
And I was like, this is such a Smoking Aces Richie thing to fucking do.
She explains how much she paid for the gun. She explains the custom silencer,
the finish, the silencer,
and then Adolf Hitler's takes it from her because she's like, I will not drop this, no. And he's like, hey, she's like, Adolf Hitler. He's like, you've been shooting me with Hitler's gun.
You've been killing me with Hitler's gun every time.
And that was the only time I felt like he had really good charisma, other than a little bit later when he's playing games with his son, because I know it's his real son. I was like, oh, they actually had like father-son chemistry. I was like, oh, makes perfect fucking sense.
Now it all comes together.
They were like, Frank, we got this other kid. He's just like, no, you bring me Rio. They're just like the movie on DVD, or
a truck pulls up with a bunch of fucking Pelican movies, and they're just like, what is this?
He's just like, no, not this one, not this one, not this one. He's like, how am I supposed to pay for anything in Rio currency? Ah! They're just like, Frank's lost his fucking mind. Someone get him some water. No, yell action and tell him to take his shirt off. Got the shot. We got the shot.
Dude, we're not filming anything.
He's like, this is for the director's cut of my personal collection.
Is that your phone?
Shot on iPhone. He's like, that looks like a Samsung Galaxy 5. Hey, fuck you. Directed's tough, okay?
Are you waking off to this?
He's beating his meat right there. They're just like, oh, okay, that's a wrap for the day, guys. Frank, put a shirt back on. He's coming for you. It's all over you.
We're not filming anything.
It's just like a normal Tuesday in Atlanta. They're just like, God, I fucking hate these guys. They never leave Hollywood Junior. So, but yeah, so that was a funny little scene. And then you just kind of see him get his revenge on these people that have been killing him over and over by tricking them with the tooth and them following the transmitter that has access.
That scene's great, and I don't want to gloss over this because I do like when some of the action things kick in. When he shoots her and she just kind of goes flying backwards, I really like that. I really like that this movie was conscious of the weapons and kind of like the power that the weapons have. It's not just poo-poo. They did a lot of, it looked like some squib work mixed in with a lot of CG blood, but it flowed nicely, and I just appreciated it, where it just like they took the time to add the blood, to add the carnage. The part where he gets shot up in the diner should have been a lot more brutal, but I get it. You're working within certain parameters.
Yeah, well, and you probably don't want to go.
Yeah, dude.
Someone was probably like, "Hey, we can't do too hardcore,"
Yeah.
And there's R, but then there's like
Then there's
people are
not
passing
rated.
on this
No
R.
one's watching this. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I get it, but I did like that. I like the way she flew. I did like their little bit of banter, and I
yeah,
would have almost preferred to cut down the amount of assassins and maybe had more back and forth with each of them because it's almost this intimate thing of so many deaths, so many deaths. Like with the
yeah,
German twins, it'd have been kind of funny if he tried to have an interaction. Granted, I did chuckle when they caught him slipping and they just had RPGs and just blew him to shit. Like little things like that. I thought I kind of really wanted more of that. Like,
I don't know. I mean, for me, I think there was just enough to where it didn't get boring and it felt like a reward. A reward. Um, I don't know. Like I think it was. I do wish that there was more talking from the assassins.
yeah, like
Uh,
the hillbilly guy, right? There's one time where Frank's figured out how to go past 12 and he's sitting there just trying to eat a sandwich and this harpoon just goes into his chest from behind and then the guy has a truck and he's like, fuck you. And he starts dragging. And I like the way his body looked when they snatched him away.
yeah,
It was little things like that where I got a kind of a kick out of it. And it's like you said, I think those things helped it from not being boring.
yeah, for
It
sure.
was very video game-ish in that way, very Scott Pilgrim of every assassin has a different style and a way to kill you. And I think
Yeah.
spending time in that and making that kind of the priority, I really didn't need a 20-minute scene of the lab be building up this road. Just tell me he's got the son. Let's do the son part at the arcade, and I'm good. I didn't really need to even see the wife, if you ask me. She could have just been a letter and a picture, and I'd have been good the
Yeah.
whole time with it.
I mean, I kind of didn't think that we were going to see the wife until that scene in the
Nor
lab.
I.
And I was like, oh, Naomi Watts. Yeah, you were in this movie. Hmm.
Yeah.
How is Nicole Kidman? Is she good? Is she doing good? Is she doing good?
Is she running a bit low on the veggie, mate? She's
They're
like,
like, we have money now. We don't eat that shit.
no, they do. All of them do. They just don't
I
run
don't.
low on it. They do, dude. Listen, I've been down there. They're ape shit
No,
for
I
it.
know, but I'm just saying that they don't. They're
No,
like
they do.
left that life.
All of them, they never leave that shit
They never
behind.
leave it behind. Okay.
Never.
All right. You hear that, Nicole Kidman? You could never escape Vegemite.
Yeah, it's in her ears
Okay.
right now, between her toes. They fucking love it.
It's like I'm bathing in it right now. Keith Urban or whatever the fuck his name is. He's licking it off of my fucking back of my knee. It's real weird.
What?
It's like nature's cup.
Oh, what?
But so after he dispatches the assassins multiple times, he just starts having these great moments with his son. He just stays with his son, and then this is he learns how to play video games with him, and they just have I'm not gonna lie, this was like a really great scene, and I
Frank's
think
a
the
huge.
movie needed it.
Excuse me, Roy. Roy's a
Roy.
poser.
No, he is very much a poser, but he's posing for the right reasons.
Made me sick, actually. I was like, you ain't no gamer. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, he knew the one game, so
He knew what he
for
he knew what
Atari.
he knew what he read around him.
Yeah, no, he's just like, this one's called fucking Pac-Man. What the fuck? Okay,
What
this
the
one's
fuck's a
Pac-Man.
Street
What's a
Fighter and a Ryu and a Kid Masters?
What is it? How you doing? Is it a how you doing? He's like, it's a Hadoken, you old fuck. This game's like 50 years old and you don't know how to say Hadoken? What the fuck's wrong with you, Frank Grillo? And he's like, listen, Rio, you break the fucking fourth wall one more time and yell at your dad like this in front of all these people, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna hit that nerd at the front desk, okay?
And I will take away your Maserati. That's real life. That's real life Frank Daddy talking.
Yeah, you are not gonna play D&D online with your fucking nerd friends this weekend. You hear me? You
Is
hear
he
me,
talking
little
to the-
shit?
Is he talking to the kid?
Yeah, he's talking to the kid.
That kid's not playing D&D.
That kid's a nerd.
That kid's playing Fortnite,
that's why
bro.
Frank and fucking embraced it.
No.
He's like, all right, I'm going to take away all your Fortnite skins. We're going to cancel your account. You're going to have to start all over. Okay? But my season 1 exclusives. Yeah, fucking gone. Okay? I'm not playing anymore. All right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's
Guess
your mom's
what?
weekend. Okay, next weekend.
Guess what? It won't be just her weekend. It's going to be her whole week. I don't want to see you anymore until you tighten your shit up. Learn how to throw a fucking fireball or sell the game. It's not for you.
He's like, it's free to play. Oh, I disagree.
Fuck it ain't. That's the udon cut. That shit's still $35.
Oh, no, that one is expensive. There's a PS3 out there that has that on there. with my profile that they can't access. But whatever. And so yeah, he just has all these touching moments where he's playing with his son, and then they go enjoy some ice cream by the lake. And they have different little conversations and shit. And
Then
until
we
the
watch
end of
the
the
world
world,
burn.
yeah, then the world blows up, and he's just like, yeah. So I made it to the end of the world part. And you're like, oh, this does suck for this guy a
Was
little
that
bit.
supposed to be like where was that?
That's the
No.
spindle exploding. That's the Osiris spindle exploding. Because if it stays on too long, the world goes boom.
Was I not paying attention in the lab?
She explains it in the second to last scene.
But
Or kind
does
of
it get explained in the Osiris for Dummies books that she sends him?
Oh, definitely not. No, he never actually made it through that. He just highlighted a bunch of parts to look like he cared. So that
And
way,
he
if he
just
ever
and
showed
I
her, he's
was
like,
like,
"Look,
why are you
I read it."
highlighted? Are you studying like for trigger? What are you? What the
That's
fuck?
how she was like. She's like, "Oh, okay, that's how I'll do complex math by using this history book."
And I was like, listen, your son is a video game junkie. Your ex-husband, he's Delta Farce. Remember that movie? He's not.
I see what you did there.
He's not gonna like read. Why don't you just go? Hey, my boss that created all this, he's kind of an asshole. He doesn't really understand cameras and monitoring people, but he does understand putting a tracker in your tooth. I'm going to be cryptic and send you this book that has the answers. Just be like, I left you a message on your phone. It's
Yeah, seriously. Like,
just get right to the point. This is
just
the
step
reason
out
they
of the
got labeled
office.
mystery, dude, in my breakdown. When I was like, action mystery? Like, it's a mystery that I had to sit through these fucking lap scenes.
Yeah, Jenna like really.
She's in the wrong movie, Dustin.
Yeah, she over guesses fucking Roy's abilities because Roy wastes like 200 attempts just fucking trying to get like.
He doesn't
wasted.
even know where she's at.
No, he doesn't even know she's
that
alive.
he's married to that is a workaholic. Where could she be? Even when she's called on the
She's
phone,
at the lab.
she calls them at the bar before the blonde takes him to put the thing in his tooth.
She
And
knows
he's
where
like,
he's at all times.
the
She's
bartender's
like,
like, who's that? Who's that? Is that your wife? That's my ex. Is she at work? And he's like, yeah, she's always at work. Do you wonder where she is later on in the movie? I do. I don't.
I do all the time, like every day.
I was like, hey, Roy, you dumb asshole. You don't know that your kid's over there. You don't know if you're like a dad or something. You go to where your wife works. She's building this like future weapon to keep you alive forever. You're trying to hit on her and put in a job application at Arby's. Great sandwiches.
He's like, let me get in that magenta outfit there. She's just like, it's maroon. He's just like, fuck, I knew it. God damn.
The scene goes on so long. Will Sasso has to tell you to leave. And
Will Sasso's like, please just
in the scene, for the love of God.
Come talk to Mel Gibson. He will say something and then he'll tell you to sit down and you'll be facing backwards to him and it won't make any sense because people don't have conversations like that. That's how conversations end when you just sit down on a couch backwards to someone else. They're like, well, I guess we're not talking.
Like,
You rude fuck.
Stop trying to be so crafty. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some good scenes with the kid, and then finally the kid's like, can we get mom a boat and blah blah blah, and then he mentions, yeah, I talked to her this morning, and he's just like, I've died like 200 times, and I never thought to see when she died.
He doesn't piece anything together. He just dies like 150 times. He's like, am I having a bad morning? This guy comes over here with a machete, 800 million. And now I'm starting to get it.
My tooth is kind of throbbing, but I don't think to check. Nothing.
I get it. I
had to pull out multiple teeth to guess which one it was.
He didn't even fuck that blonde chick, dude. They just did like the drunkie.
They just pass out.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, at least finger bang the orangutan. Get in there. And he's like, no, man.
What, Kevin? I mean, my mouth is throbbing. Yeah, shirts off, sleeping off. He's like, my mouth's throbbing. I don't know what's going on with this tooth.
Dude,
I can't guess which one it is.
Throb. You know what I'm saying, guys? Ooh, back it in there. Ooh, don't ask for permission. Ooh, ask for forgiveness. Ooh.
He's like, Rio, get out. I don't need you to see me bang someone who's not your mother.
He just throws a bunch of DVDs out the window.
Throw the real 1, 2, 3, the knockoff
Well,
one
like,
from
people are like,
from
listen,
France.
what's a DVD? And this joke sucks. Please fucking stop. Stop bringing up the lab. Stop bringing up this bird. I don't even want to watch this movie anymore.
That
I'm
was
just gonna
Jesse
go.
Eisenberg's performance of his life,
Just
second
gonna
only
go
to
buy some
Lex Luthor, you
Osiris's and just shred
motherfuckers.
it.
Yeah, but so he's like, I'm gonna go save my wife, and he attempts to. At first, he's just getting revenge for her, and there's some good scenes of him trying to break in, and Brett always killing him, and then I think it's like 12 deaths. He realizes there's cameras everywhere. They could
Yeah,
see
he's a
where I'm
real slow
at.
learner, right? He's a
I'm just like,
total killer.
no wonder your ex still
It's just
scores.
it's this like super like hyped up like facility. It's got like the 3 walls, barbed wire everywhere, or barbed wire. Sorry, not no bobs, and
It's just Bob. Just like,
which would be actually pretty funny if that was one of the assassins, barbed wire. Um,
he's got a haircut, the Bob haircut, and he's just like, I'm here to fuck you up, and they're just like, oh god.
like okay, this is kind of cool.
I'm like, I'm interested. I'm
So
listening.
Roy takes his vehicle, and it's kind of real dumb. Like I was like, dude, is this like a cartoon? And he goes to run through the wall. He just wrecks instantly.
Yeah,
And I'm
I was like,
slowly losing
what?
faith in this killer Roy. I'm like, well, I don't. You're kind of making some real Wile E. Coyote type moves right now.
It's very, yeah. He's just like, meet. I'll get
Very,
you, Roadrunner.
very neat. And then he
Um,
figures it out. He like jumps it. He jumps the car over.
yeah, it's good. Well, he finds Roy too eventually.
Yeah, one of the assassins. He's like, man, this guy just looks just like me. And I didn't really get the
He
joke,
does.
but
I
he
think
really
it's a
did.
stunt double, dude. I think it was a stunt double, and then they just were like, "This is funny. You're Roy too."
Yeah, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm all in. I with the assassins, it felt like I said, like a different movie in a bit of I don't know, not really, but it was
Yeah.
so it could be whatever. I was ready to accept any wacky assassin, so I was very fine
Yeah.
with that. Then we go. He jumps it over, and he just is real dumb. He jumps the car. He's not in it. And then they blow it up, kill some rando troopers, and he's like, ha ha ha, gets killed again because they know where he's at every time. So
Yeah.
when they reset this multiple times, and he jumps the car, but then Will Sasso has like that Desert Eagle or whatever, just blows the side of his head off, and I was like, how did you know he was going to enter from that way?
Yeah.
It was some weird,
Cameras.
wacky, convenient deaths. Yeah,
No, yeah, it was totally just like real goofballs of just like,
Yeah.
how do we get Will Sasso more? How do we get more heat on Will Sasso?
Will
You know,
Sasso was
that's really-
great. Like, yeah, he was the heavy, and it worked, and he was the heavy for the colonel, and I believed it.
Yeah. And so eventually he gets getting to the final boss. I mean, it literally looks like a final boss like level where it's all Egyptian themed, and this is where Mel Gibson is just sitting smoking at a desk half the time. And then there's Gao Yin, and Gao Yin fucking just lobs his head off like over and over, and there's some cool running on walls like sword shit.
Dude, she does a very interesting visually thing. I don't want to say it's that wire foo shit, but he's just trying to shoot her the whole time, and she does this kind of cool like ninja video game run. She kind of runs at an angle on the floor to dodge the bullets, and she just like one shots them every time. And you're like, all right, this is kind of cool. And you're like, oh, how's he gonna beat it, Dustin? He got to get good, right? It's like Dark Souls,
I mean,
get good, right?
Get good or suck and die. So
Suck and die, suck and die.
I mostly just suck and die at this game. I fucking hate this game. Remake it. It's
and then one of the deaths they should probably mention, since it's such a father-son moment, is he saves his son because the assassins zero in on him outside the video game tournament place. Yeah. And they gat him up, and he covers, and he looks at his son. He's like, I should tell him I'm the father. I'm like, oh, this is a real Vader moment right now. And then he resets, but he never has the heart to do it.
Yeah, and he never does it again, actually. Well, he says it. He's like, I should tell him about his mother. And then he goes, I'm your father. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, then he starts training with Michelle Yeoh. And
because that restaurant that he always makes it to at 12 in the afternoon, which is kind of underground, they bring attention to her, and one of fucking Chef Jake's Kim Jong's fucking stories, Michelle Yeoh goes to, like you said earlier, he sits at the bar, so a girl has to go sit at the table, and you look over, and you're like, look, she's the world famous, weapons master, gold medal sword assassin. She's
5-time world champion or something. I don't know.
It's like, Michelle fucking Yeoh, so she knows what's good.
Yeah, you're just like, is that Michelle Yeoh?
She should have just played her fucking self, if you ask me.
Really, yeah, totally.
But just got it over with. And he's like, can you train me? And she's like, my flight, hello, service, can I order?
I only have a day. And he's just like, that's all I need. Get it? We're in Groundhog's Day for the movie. And yeah, and then we get this training sequence where he starts to get better, and he has to use different excuses so that she doesn't like start him from the very beginning of training every time. And it was pretty good. Like,
it worked.
I didn't mind that. I appreciated that montage.
He did look awkward posing with the sword at times. He looked
I
very.
just meant the goal.
No. The goal of the scene was great. I just think he looked a little stiff. It could be just me.
He's like, I'm so fucking dehydrated. They're like, Grillo, get your head in the game, or we're gonna take your son away from you.
Give me a camel. Give me a camel Gatorade.
They're like, please. No. You can lick this salt lick. That's it. He's like,
that makes it worse.
He's like, I hate you guys. But yeah, I mean, it's the scene works.
It's fine. Yeah.
And then he goes and he fights. What's her face?
I appreciate the detail. Movie is what I'm trying to say. I hats off to.
It was like you have to do this side quest. Yeah, you have to do this side quest, and now you can go beat this boss. Or this sub boss of
level up, bitch. Too low level to step to it.
So then he defeats Gao Yin, and then he finally gets a kill on Brett.
What are you talking about, dude? That's like the kind of most humorous dialogue he says.
I assumed you would jump in anyway, so
assumed correctly.
Yeah,
so he walks in. The Gao Yin's, he steps up. They start jawing back and forth. He's like, I was gonna tell you something. She's like, what is it? He's like, fuck it. He's like, I'll tell you in a minute or some shit. And then they do their
I'll tell you at the end.
I'll tell you at the end. They do some big fight. And then he does her gimmick line. He's like, Roy's done this. Roy's the shiz did or some shit. And I was like, he did the thing she does.
Yeah.
Here comes Brett. He starts shooting.
Yeah, he puts a sword in Brett's forehead. Will Sasso stumbles around. He's just like, I could taste some colors and stuff. He's just like, oh, no, I can't see. He's like, oh, I'm dead. And he just falls over. And it was pretty just like awkwardly long.
And this isn't the final time because there's one time before then, right?
This is so then he starts fighting Mel Gibson's character, and he gets the jump on Mel Gibson's character, and then Mel Gibson says, if you're here to save her, then who's saving your son? And that's when he finds out that they're killing his son too. So and that's what kind of makes him figure out that he needs to get her sooner.
Right. So, and also, I'm just going to chalk it up to this time because it does become repetitive.
Yeah.
In one of these variations, he gets beat, but he's like, oh man, I've never heard this guy talk and say this part. So basically, Mel Gibson does the whole bad guy scream ending where he just tells you what's going on in case you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, so the spindle was used on me, and that's why, oh God, and then it breaks in the machine, and then my son, and all this stuff. So basically the movie's just like, here you go, guys, here's the answer. We're tired of this as well. And you're like, great.
Yeah, they're just like, here's some exposition.
Here's 100. We got 100 minutes here. We can only show you so many things. We got this fucking Kevin Hale editor. He's kind of going to fucking quit on us. So we got to.
Yeah, and then we get some other scenes where he actually he gets close to saving the wife, and he doesn't. And so he has to figure out how to fucking get there, And
Listen, when you kill someone in your own job, do you always leave the cameras running so you get all these angles of it?
I mean, definitely. I gotta review the footage, see how I could have improved as an employee that killed another employee.
Is that you don't want to make it accidental, like she slipped or fell? Or are you just gonna say, hey, Brett, just go in there and choke slam her to hell? Like, you're gonna have us both stand there
There's no HR, Kevin. They probably wanted to show her. They're like, did you ever see the movie Strange Days? We're going to have you watch yourself get strangled now, okay?
And if you haven't everyone seen the movie Strange Days, you can go back and listen to us talk about it on your Us versus Movies stream. You can go back in there, click that bad boy, download it, and go, why are they watching this shit? Who knows, everyone? Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll just tell you one thing. There's a bunch of bad cops in there. Not bad as in evil, just bad at doing their job.
Like, cop is a very loose term, okay? More like amateur children police force.
Amateur part-time security guard.
Which, now that I say, I want to watch amateur child police force, the show, now, like instantly.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
They're just like, I'm dusting for prints with donuts, just like I seen in the movies with my dad. And they're just like, dude, you have contaminated the crime scene.
I'd write that, Netflix.
I would definitely write that. I'd rate you 5 seasons. No more than that, because kids don't care. Like 5 and done.
Live action.
Oh, for sure. Netflix. It has to be live action. Get the fat friend.
Oh, dude, you just use the Baby Geniuses gimmick where you make their mouths move. Everybody's just like, not this
again. Babies now? No, we can't do that. That's been done. They made like 7 of those.
What's the problem, dude? I heard nothing but success. When
most of them are straight to DVD.
Hey, straight to somebody's heart and collection. You don't do 7 on accident. That is. Yeah, what's the
you do when you just don't have anything else to live for. They're like, do you got one more Baby Geniuses in you? And he's just like, I guess, but I'm really going to pull the trigger this time.
What, on Baby Geniuses 8? Oh, you got me.
You got me. They go to college. He's just like, oh, brilliant. They're geniuses. It works.
Dude, look who's talking now. Wait, are you commenting on our conversation? Or are you trying to give me doing a third?
Are we doing a killer crossover right now?
Yeah.
Are we?
I don't see the problem. Can we get Bruce Willis back? Well, yeah, he does look like an old baby now. Let's do it.
Let's do it. He's just like a giant toe baby floating in the womb. Why is he still in the womb?
And if you want more coverage of Bruce Willis and his toe baby antics, you can check out our previous episode.
Our previous episode with the Blood General.
Cosmic Sin.
But anyway, so yeah, he figures out he's got to get to Gemma quicker, and that way his son won't die and she won't die, and he's the best dad / ex-husband ever.
What a challenge! You want to start being a good dad and a good husband and not have everybody die all in like before 7 a.m. That's a lot of pressure.
I mean, he's been doing this for like a month, man. I mean,
but like now you want to be that guy. Why didn't you be that guy before?
All guys want to just be that guy suddenly, especially in movies. They don't want to put in the work. They want to be forced to put in the work, Kevin. Otherwise, they'd already be that guy.
More like Delta Fatherhood. Let's write that movie. A bunch of Delta Force dads. They all have their weekend getaway, but they want to just go do commando stuff when they should be doing dad stuff. And then while they're doing their commando stuff getaway, their family gets kidnapped by terrorists and they got to work together.
I'm going to do a different spin, Kevin. They're going to keep doing it in secret against the Russian KGB agents that are there, and they're secretly fighting each other while not trying to interfere with both of their families' vacations until it spills over at the rival barbecue cook-off, and then the wives are all mad, and they gang up, and they're just like, we're done with you. Get your shit together. And then they got to bond like men and learn crochet.
All right.
He's not down with it at all, but that's fine. That's the one I want to watch. So, but back to this movie, which I keep forgetting where we're at now because we keep sidebarring so fucking hard. He's got to change his routine, but he knows enough about this world. So this time, instead of shooting down the helicopter, he jumps on the helicopter, kicks the gunner out, played by Rob Gronkowski, in case you forgot, and then he tells the guy, "Get the fuck back to the stupid place where my wife works, I guess. I don't know. Where'd you fly from? Go there. Go there. Go back there.
Let me see your uniform. Go to that place.
This place right here. Fly faster. I'll fucking
let me Google map it. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. We're in the
Oh wait,
helicopter.
my
Where's
bad.
the helicopter? Oh shit!
I'm on walking.
I'm on walking.
2 days. Oh no, I wasn't on walking. I was in the car. I'm fucked up, man. Do you know where you work?
He just shoots him on accident. He's like, I better look tomorrow, I guess. He lands on the roof. Somehow we're to
Better look
believe that
tomorrow. It's like Italian fat movie.
somehow we're to believe that all of his knowledge of this place has translated. I guess he's just shooting people. There's a pretty cool staircase scene where he's shooting people.
You know what? I did not like that. I'm tired of my action movie staircase. I'm tired of it.
The reason I liked it is because of that one jump down he did. I
Oh,
was like,
okay. The jump down was fresh.
That's what got me.
Okay. You got it.
That's
All
what
right.
I was just
It was
like, okay, that was.
They
that was
hide the cut
didn't-
when they transcend camera shot, or they pan down. They hide the cut inside the stair rail or the railing. You're right. That was awesome. But everyone directing action movies, get the fuck out of the staircase. I'm sick of it.
Bad news, Kevin, because this guy's doing the Raid remake. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listen, I just rewatched the original Raid. That movie's the shit.
Yeah.
The shit. Don't even watch the second one because you can only handle that once or twice in your life or your head will explode because it's so good.
Yeah.
But there's no way with that style that he shoots action. I don't think it can be done. Make me a believer. I'll watch it just because I kind of like your wonky action. But this is such an American style of a movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to take that subject matter to remake aside, it should never be remade. That's like remaking like the Bible of action movies because these two movies hold the crown, action fans. If you haven't seen it,
yeah. Well,
whatever. Let's just finish this movie. We for some reason do not want to.
Yes. No. Well, it's because the ending is. It's the end, So he gets to the lab. He saves her, and she's just like, "Oh my God, you came for me. You
read a book.
Saved me." Yeah.
Did you get that book I sent you?
She's like, how many times did it take? And he's like, just one. And I was like, motherfucker, don't try to be fucking smooth right now, dude.
Boy,
like,
you're not rebuilding this relationship with honesty.
Yeah, I was like, you are just back to the lies, huh?
Did you learn
Roy?
anything?
Huh? He's like, I learned everything about our son. Let me list all the things about our son. You know what? This is really a father-son movie now.
He likes Street Fighter. He thinks Ryu's top tier. He doesn't understand the rebalancing.
I mean, he fucking has so many cheap wins, but he doesn't understand what the C stands for. But it's fine. It's whatever. He's learning. He's got to learn. He'll get his ass fucking roasted online. It's okay.
He asked me what Galaga was.
He kept saying Gattaca, and I was like, no, that's a fucking movie, kid. And he was just like...
That's one of my all-time hated movies, kid.
But then she's just like, okay, in order to stop the spindle, you got to just enter the spindle and
enter the Stargate over here, please.
Yeah. And I don't know what will happen, but it'll basically just reset you one more time. You're gonna have to do the day one more time, but this time you don't have the redo. Yeah, you gotta do everything right. You fuck up on this one, dunzo.
So you gotta run it on God tier mode. You got no saves or continues.
Yeah, no saves or continues, and someone else has got the next quarter. So you're
one hit,
fucked.
one kill, man. Do it.
Yeah. And he walks in. He's just like, he's cool with it, and I'm liking it. He wakes up.
Fucking credits.
Play the fuck. He's just like, just don't fucking die, asshole. And I was like, wait, you're not gonna bother showing me? You're gonna leave it like to my imagination of if he did it or not? Like, no, movie. We've done this like 900 times throughout this fucking thing. Just show it to me. Give me the reward of that. This is not rewarding. This isn't your little Inception. Does he make it? Does he not? No. The whole point of this movie is that he makes it. And he sees his ex-wife and son, and he gets to say, I'm your dad. But also, like,
I'm your dad and I'm your daddy. Ooh, yeah. Another sex joke.
Yeah, and he smacks her ass. He's like, Roy, stop. And he's just like...
Then credits.
Yeah, then credits. Yeah, I did not care for this ending of like, wink, wink, Deadpool into the camera,
You know, I totally agree, Dustin. When it ended, I was a little like, "Oh, what? Okay." And I was like, well, movie, if there's after credits, fuck you. I don't do that anymore. I don't care who puts them out."
No, there
And
wasn't. So,
so I totally agree. It needed one last. What I was really waiting for was like this slow, epic, slowed down, epic cut, like either to the final countdown or Flight of the Valkyries or something, just musical score. Because the movie is pretty music heavy
yeah.
with this director. He loves doing that.
Like Smoking Aces,
Maybe you
anyone?
heard of it.
Or
And I
The
was,
Gray, which wouldn't stop playing the fucking cello or something?
that was terrible.
Yeah.
I thought we were just gonna get like a just real epic, fucking just slow motion of him killing Pam and then him just smoking all the bosses, kind of like a montage recap. And then at the very end, it's all slow. It could have been he picks up the son and the wife, and they're just like, yeah, and it's like game over, or whatever. Because
Yeah.
it kept using this real pixelated, cheesy font of how many times he died, real Game Boy screen bullshit. And it just kind of didn't really want to do that. It was like the movie was just like, dude, you get it. We're done here. Fucking later.
Yeah, it was just more of like, just assume, make it a happy ending type of thing. But I just really feel like it was a horrible misstep because I think that's when the movie would have been more rewarding to be like,
Hmm.
okay, let's watch it one more time. And almost like,
Let's
hey, we've
watch
done
that
all these
perfect
quick
speed
cuts.
run.
Yeah, let's watch a speed run now. Let's watch the perfect speed run where we're going to show you beginning to finish, and he finishes it flawless. And that would have been more rewarding and a little more exciting because I'm like, oh shit, man. Or, at any point they could just be like, ha ha ha, we got you. He fucking failed and died.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
it totally needed that. It felt like you're building up to that perfect run,
Yeah.
and you see all his missteps, you see all his waka waka moments, and it's like he should have just like if he would have went through the portal and then just stood up, did the bed thing, or if he was just laying in bed and just like put sunglasses on, something real corny, and he was just like perfect run. You know what I mean? Just give me that, and he's just
Yeah.
shredding it. You just like you don't even need to stick long on it. Just give me like 10-second clips of him smoking each assassin, taking out the helicopter. Just perfect. Just doing everything he needed to do, which was signify him defeating them, everything he needed to do to be a good dad, everything he needed to do to be a good spouse. You know what I mean? Like it would have just been the perfect ending to what all these little character things that you've tried to do for him.
Yeah. Instead it was just like waka waka, wink.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. And every time Gemma and him talked, oh god, it was so boring. It was so long and boring. Like also it just like killed all momentum of the movie. Like especially at the end I was just like, what? Okay, do you need to give like 17 more examples of your kid and how you learned about him in
They didn't
order
have
for her to
charisma. It's
react?
like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
got this little buddy. He likes to play, and he's really into this girl, but that she spits at his face because she's trying to get that applesauce in the little squeeze thing, and then she squeezes too hard and it flies on him. Then they laugh and giggle, and the teacher's like, "You've been on lunch for a very long time. Maybe you should just drop out." And then they
And she was
do.
like, is this my kid you're talking? Whose kid is this?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
how old is he?
You go from
And
like a
he's just like,
drifter
what?
dad to fucking knowing everything about him. I'm like, oh my god, are
Yeah.
you like a creeper?
And he's just like, who's the absentee parent now, Gemma? Hmm?
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 She's like, his balls dropped? I had no idea. Oh my God.
So that was
I've
that
just been
noise.
working on this Keurig machine for like Egypt forever. Forever.
And ever.
So, yeah, I just, yeah. I was having a good time, especially with the ending. I was just like, all right, movie, you're like, this is pleasantly surprising, like I'm just having a good time. I'm enjoying it. It's not perfect, but I'm not hating it. And then that ending hit, and I was like, wow,
Fuck you.
just fuck me, fuck you. The wind is out of my sails. I'd rather just end it with the fucking father and son at the water shore, just watching the world blow up. That was better. That was a better ending than this shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's Smoking Aces too.
No, that's a real movie, dude.
Oh, Oh wait, that's Smoking Aces 3. That's Cranked 5.5. Nah, that's
Boss
boss
baby
level.
status.
That's Boss Baby level 2.
I hate the name actually.
Yeah, well, it was originally called Continue,
I
and I
hate that
thought
too.
that was slightly better, was what I was gonna say, because at least it like I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You know,
If it was continue with maybe a question mark, maybe, but just continue. Continue what? Continue just. I don't know. It doesn't. It's like video game esque influence, but I think it was just lightly influenced by video
fair.
game because I didn't feel as a. I don't like to say the word gamer, but I did not the movie gamer. That is something completely different that I will not watch again. But I was
Oh, come on, you don't
feeling
want to see Dexter not act very well, and then that one guy just like not talk because he can't.
no, I don't want any of that. I've already seen it. It's
I'm
terrible.
John Butler. I'm a video game character.
What happened? Oh, that's a good impression. What happened to him? Wasn't he supposed to be the next it guy?
He is. He did those the Olympus Has Fallen and all that.
Oh, I saw the first one. I was like, boring.
Oh, they made 2 more, and they're gonna make 3 more. So
It's just he's standing around things blowing up, confused, and then he
Nick
figures out,
Nolte's his dad.
well, dad or daddy. That's twice, everyone. I get one more.
Definitely his daddy. So
Yeah, that's oh geez.
Hulu original film, boss level.
They got 8 figures. They got 8 figures from Hulu to be the home for boss level.
I mean, they probably lost money on it. So
Yeah. I say it's worth a watch if you're bored, you have easy access to it. Like I said, it does have some entertaining action sequences and things that it does. Just maybe from my opinion, because I've seen a billion action movies and I remember mildly liking some of Smoking Aces, except for Jeremy Piven had a little way too much screen time in it.
all of the screen time.
Yeah, and I just think where Smoking Aces lost its way with these very interesting characters that we didn't really spend any time with. I think this falls to the same crux of just interesting assassins, but we don't. The movie doesn't know what it wants to kind of do. Where it's, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about what I would have done.
It wants them there. It just doesn't want to do anything else with them.
Yeah,
It
it
wants
wants
you to
them.
be like, give me more of these characters, but you're never going to.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. Yeah, so it's a. I guess I can recommend if you're an action movie guy, if you're or gal, if you're into action
Yeah.
movies, check it out. It's not offensive. You might see some stuff that's entertaining. Like some of the action scenes are enjoyable. It's real popcorn. You don't have to think too much. If you want to see a lot of boring science talk,
You want to just be like, Naomi Watts, can you can you stop this?
how is Kim doing, Naomi? Because
How
this sucks.
have you talked to Kim? Maybe she can, I don't know, help you out again, get you. She's not doing well either, is she? Okay, well, yeah, I would definitely. I'd give it a full recommendation. I don't even think you have to be an action fan.
Okay.
It's just a fun. It's a romp.
I'll give you that. That's fun. It's just fun,
Yeah,
fun,
it's
mindless,
just fun.
shooty, bang, bang, boom, boom.
And other people might even like the ending. I feel like that, like you said, the ending was working
Right.
towards something and didn't deliver on that.
It was
so
like
that was
we are out of movie.
yeah, they were just like, nah, yeah, fucking, fucking, what's his name? The editor, where was it? Kevin Hale was just like, I'm
Fuck
done.
this.
They were like, no, we got the speed run thing. He's like, I am done. Okay, he can wink at the fucking camera and we're out. You're just like, all right, fine.
All right, yeah. I put him in a
Highland,
Stargate
the
and
Highland Film Group is going to hear about this. He's like, I let him. I'm going to talk to fucking Diamond Film Productions and Movie Pass Films and be like, you remember them? They're gone.
I'm a freelancer, bitch.
But that is it for us at Us Versus Movies. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, pretty much just, social media channels. You look for us. We welcome comments and feedback and likes and just appreciate any sort of time that you give us on this podcast. And you can also listen a week later at YouTube. Say hello, leave a comment there as well. And in the meantime, we thank you for listening. Kevin, take us away.
Hey, don't leave a comment like that one person did. We just said fuck you. Like, was it fuck the movie or fuck us or fuck our opinion of the movie?
Who are you fucking?
Yeah.
Who's fucking? Stop.
I mean, you can leave that comment, but just give me a little more to work with next time.
Why would you put that out there? Now they're only going to say fuck you, which is fine too.